So Kris Knoblauch was asked today, I hope I'm getting this right, do you think you'll see Evander Kane, or what are the chances you see Evander Kane again in the series? And he said pretty good. I wonder if that'll be ahead of game 5, but also, how do you rejig this lineup if Kane comes back in?
So I took the time to make sure I listened to the presser before I came in here, because I knew that this was going to come up. Kris Knoblauch's answer was, oh yeah, I think it's pretty good. But it seemed like it seemed a little more coach speak than like, yeah, he's coming back into the lineup in game 5 and he's going to be ready to go. And, we think Evander's going to be able to give it his all and this sort of a thing. I was listening to the Jeff Merrick show with Elliot Friedman this morning, and Friedman kind of said that, I think he was talking to Ken Holland, and it kind of sounded like what Kane was dealing with was like end of the year. Like he's done, like he's not coming back at all in these playoffs. Obviously he's got the sports hernia that he's been dealing with, and he was injured again in game 6 against Dallas. I don't know what it was. I wonder if it's just a flare up of that sports hernia. Cause it kind of seemed like not a major collision or anything like that, or one where you could be like, oh yeah, he went knee on knee with a guy and his knee's probably sore. But again, like you said, Tyler, I don't know how you change this lineup. I really don't know how you change this lineup from the last 2 games. All 4 lines were rolling in game 4, looking really, really good. The ice time was split up really nice too. Like McDavid only played like 17 minutes in game 4, which was, I think, a real positive for the Oilers too, helping keep him a little bit fresher going into game 5. But I really like the makeup of this lineup. Fogel, I thought he's had a great game 3 and 4. Nuge looked good on the second line. Holloway, he stepped up. The third line, you're not changing that line right now. Fourth line, maybe it's Perry that comes out and Kane comes in on that fourth line. The blue line, I don't see any changes coming that way either.
Yeah, I think you got to run it back with the same lineup. And I guess the easy solution as well, like if Kane is ready to go, it's just Derek Ryan out and you flip McLeod to center, and you'd run like McLeod, Kane, and Perry as your fourth line.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah. I'm also
actually, I saw what's his name?
Troy Stecher.
Yeah, that one. In the dressing room on Saturday.
Oh, really? He's in town still, eh?
He was there.
That's
He's
good.
not at the Derek Brassard.
Yeah, he's not fully. He is not fully dipped.
Be here.
That's good to see, actually.
Good. Yeah, he was around, walking fine, which is good.
That's good to see.
Not on crutches.
Game time decision. Kris Knoblauch says there's a chance we see him again.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Panthers do anything with their lineup. Like again, they
did. Ryan Lomberg was skating on the fourth line with
Stenlund and Okposo.
Bingo, and then
so who did they take out?
Lorenz.
Steven Lorenz.
And Steven Lorenz and Nick Cousins were skating in place of 2 other guys higher in the lineup. So I'd imagine I'm actually surprised Lomberg hasn't been playing. I respect his game quite a bit. He's a pest. Has a little bit of offense to him, but their fourth line, Stenlund, is that how you say his name?
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good player. Plays very well on a penalty kill. Okposo and Lorenz are kind of just guys in there. Okposo's pretty much there because of the way he talks. He's very respected by the sounds of it, and there's a lot of good things to say. So I'd imagine that's why he's maybe in the lineup, similar to Perry, I'm sure, but I wouldn't say they have much impact.
No, fourth lines have been fairly irrelevant. McLeod scored the other day.
Stenlund's a good player. I do like
McLeod and Stenlund are impactful, but yeah, like it almost feels like forwards 11 and 12 are a little bit like
kind of out there because they have to be.
Yeah, you gotta find 12 forwards somehow. Is it fair to say, Zach? We talked with Frank about this, and we threw it back to when he covered that Flyers reverse sweep in 2010, and he said he didn't feel like momentum flipped until halfway through Game 6 when it was like, whoa, the Flyers are going to push this to 7. I think, and Frank kind of agreed. I'm interested for your take. When do you think momentum flips in this series? Because I think it could be in the first 5 minutes of next game, honestly.
Honestly, I think it might have been in the third period of Game 3. Like, you look at the way the Oilers pushed back in that third period. They scored twice. Broberg had that ping pong goal. Ryan McLeod had the deflection in. And, we've heard all playoffs long the Oilers saying, well, the momentum doesn't really carry on a game-by-game basis. But to me, it really felt like it did because of the way the Oilers came out in the first period of Game 4. Like, it really felt like they built on that third period. And I think, the first period of Game 5 here, as you mentioned, Tyler, I think it's going to be a pivotal point in the series where, people might look at that as the real turning point. But I've really thought the last 4 periods of hockey from the Oilers has been very, very good. The best that they've played in the finals here for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. I saw Christopher Palmer just put in that ticket prices in Florida are bananas. Get-in price for tomorrow at Amerant Bank Arena, $671 US a ticket. So you're looking at Upper Bowl, row 8, in the 300s, row 8, and you're looking at about $1,000 Canadian just to get in the building.
Yes, that is mental.
It's mental, but you know what'll be even more insane will be if Edmonton
Game 6.
If Edmonton finds a way to force another game here. Like, I'm just looking, holy shit, Friday in Edmonton. I pulled up one of the random websites that you do. Get-in price is $1,100 US.
Right on.
Shit.
Enjoy the moss pit, folks.
That is wild. Then someone said it's still cheaper than going to a home game. It's not. Like, again, $1,000 they're $1,000 Canadian to get down to, and then getting down to Florida is not cheap. Not cheap. I had family who they booked the flight. They pre-booked all this because they got hooked up with tickets for Game 5 tomorrow in Florida. And I ran into whatever, he'd be my cousin by marriage, but I ran into him in a parking lot the other day, and I was like, so it's 3-0. I was like, are you still going to go to Florida if the Oilers get swept? Or are you just going to turn it into a Fort Lauderdale vacation? He was like, no, absolutely not. I will stay home. I will lose out on the money from the flights. I'm not going. I thought that was funny. But tomorrow, man, all comes down to that 6:00 Mountain puck drop from Florida. Zach, what's your prediction? You think they're going to do it? Think it's going to be a close game, low scoring? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, I don't know. I guess it really could go either way, because I do think the Oilers have the Panthers on their heels right now, but I do think Florida will have they'll have some jump for Game 5. I mean, they're going to come out swinging, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bobrovsky. I think that is genuinely the X factor here of this entire series. I think it all hinges on Bobrovsky. Is he going to be able to rebound and get back to maybe not the way that he was in games 1 through 3, but maybe if he rebounds to good enough to be able to get the win for him? Or is he going to kind of continue what happened in Game 4 there? You know, it was interesting in Game 3 too. Like, I thought after Warren Fogel's goal in the second period, I think it was, the next like 3 or 4 shots that Bobrovsky faced, he coughed up big rebounds on them, on each of them. And I was like, wow, if the Oilers can get a guy around the crease and find a way to bang one of those home, they might be able to build on something here in Game 3. And we saw that happen in Game 4 again. Once that first one kind of got past him, it just seemed to shake him. And, you know, you look at the McDavid goal, you look at the Nurse goal, you know, these are clean shots coming down into the offensive zone of Bobrovsky. And those were the ones that he was stonewalling the Oilers on in the first 3 games of the series. So if they can get to him early, get in his cage, get in his crease again, the way they did on Saturday night, I will be very curious to see what happens.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.